So in this video, I'm basically just going to break down what I think is a really dangerous limiting belief that a lot of us have. And this isn't one that everyone has. It's very selective. Some people really don't have this at all. And some people have it really badly. But if you do have it, it's an enormous stopping point for you. And you need to address it. And I had this for a long while as well. And I've started to come out the other side. And I'm so much better for it. So that's what I'm going to explain in this video. And that is the limiting belief of thinking that it's superficial to spend money on clothes or worry about what you wear or to judge people on what they wear. To kind of see your clothes and what you wear as something that's kind of not important. You shouldn't worry too much about it. I used to be like this quite a lot. Like I used to not spend very much money on clothes. I just buy cheap stuff from Primark that just fitted me and would do. You know, I rarely bought new clothes. I wouldn't really worry about what shoes I wore. I'd just have a pair of running trainers and then I just wear those everywhere. And I really suffer for it. Because I never really looked that impressive to people, you know. I never really looked very well put together. I never looked very presentable. You know, I was always just selling myself a bit short. That's what you're doing when you don't invest in clothes and stuff like that. You know, I used to do a lot of charity shopping. You know, because I was into a certain style of indie clothes, you know, sort of 1990s tracksuits and stuff like that. And, you know, there's a big fashion, still is, for charity shopping and stuff like that. And, you know, I really got into that. And, yeah, but I think long term, I did suffer for it. Because I didn't recognise that ultimately all this stuff's great, but you're not gonna. At some point, you need to actually take a look at yourself in the mirror and think, if I want to look good, I need to spend some money. I need to be willing to invest in this, you know. And I used to look at people who were like very, almost like I was better than them when they'd spend lots of money on like a pair of trainers or some, you know, expensive clothes. And, you know, in a sense, I don't necessarily think it's good to spend money on just some fad trainers or, you know, some branded clothing that's a bit of a rip-off, you know, some Supreme or something. But to be fair, it's better than not. At least you're putting money into your appearance. And, you know, all these sort of branded stuff, you know, you can say they're superficial, whatever, but you do look better anyway, you know, and you don't have to spend money on branded clothing. I'm just using that as an example, but I just think I had this whole thing in my head of like, it was bad to spend money on clothes for so long. Like I was kind of almost like in my sort of high horse about it, thinking it was so superficial to do. But at the end of the day, the people who were spending money on clothes, they look better than me. You know, they go out and about and they just carried themselves differently, you know. And that's what I recognised when I started spending money on clothes, is that you just carry yourself a bit differently, you know. You just kind of feel willing to really show yourself to the world, you know. Like I bought some new trainers recently, and you know I never really spent that much money on a pair of trainers before, but I just thought I've got to get a good pair that's not just like, it's like just practical walking about, not like, you know, for running and stuff like that, just like a normal pair of trainers for going out in town and stuff. And I bought them, and I realised afterwards how much more kind of open my body language was with my feet. Like I was just kind of showing off my feet so much more than I was before. In whatever, that sounds weird, you know, but you get what I mean. You don't realise how closed you are in like a very subtle way when you're not wearing good clothes, when you don't look your best. And yeah, it's something you only realise when you actually like put on a pair of clothes that is high quality, and you're like, wow, this is so much better, you know. So yeah, that's really what I've got to say in this video. One thing I'd say about the charity shopping thing is it's interesting because I think First Man talks a lot about this, like the way guys and girls dress is very differently. It is very different. I think girls can get away with looking good from like just stuff they find in charity shops. Like, you know, you can an attractive girl could just find some random piece of clothing from a charity shop and look fantastic. You know, but that doesn't mean if a bloke goes into a charity shop and he buys a similar thing, it's not going to have the same effects. You know, like girls can just get away with looking really good with cheaper clothes. I just think, as guys, I'm not saying never go in a charity shop. You know, I'm not saying, you know, like all that stuff. But I think as guys, we don't have that privilege in the same way. I think if we want to look our best, we have to be prepared to spend money and actually go like, yeah, this is an investment. I need to put money into it. So yeah, that's just something to realise, guys. And yeah, I just hope what you can take away from this video is just recognise that, like, yeah, this is possibly an aspect of my life that I've been neglecting. And, you know, there's a little bit of you that's debating buying some more clothes or spending some money on something a bit more expensive. I really recommend you to do it because just the difference it has in your confidence is just huge. So yeah, just a quick video, guys. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm doing some coaching at the moment. There'll be a link in the description if you want to get involved. It'd be great to hear from you. And apart from that, see you soon.